And let's go live. Clack. There you go, Miss Valerie. Thank you very much. Hi, boys and girls. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here. Seeing if we can make it work. This is take 2. Let's see how we do. How about that? Just like magic. All right. How you been? I think I know the answer. I wonder what I was playing there. First of all, can you hear and see everything that you want to hear and see? Oh, first thing, Stevie Coyle here. Thank you very much for joining me on the Monday night Webby. I don't know what to call these things. Webbies? FaceTime Lives? Webcasts? Well, since you asked, here's how I've been. It's a little, for some of you, this will be a sing-along, and I'll encourage you to sing along tonight. Just a little half-hour show, because other shows come on the hour and the half hour, so we're going to try and confine this. Irish boy, beware. Excuse me, going to try and confine this to half an hour. Are we getting sounds, Miss Valerie? Can you all hear everything? Guitar and vocal and everything? When I was 17 and just a little bit bewildered, feeling cheated and hungover in the wake of adolescence, my recruiter took my number and he graded my exam. He said, you'd be a perfect soldier, except you got no depth perception. Said, I want to serve my country and I got so much potential. He said, what you lack in weight you more than make up for in density. You see, I'd always suffered from a lack of self-esteem. So if my country doesn't want me, then I'll serve the Catholic Church. So I enrolled in seminary where I memorized the gospel. But they caught me reading on the road and threw me on my ass. There were a bunch of other factors which I won't enumerate. So then I'm sitting in my parents' Norman Rockwell living room and being still so as to hear my ego crashing in my ears. When the voice of reason says, son, have you thought about the future? And I get real sick, but now I'm fine. I'm really fine. Crackety, crackety, crack. I'll fix that. Oh, that's not good, is it? By 23, I gained a sort of enigmatic drive, and having no success with suicide, I thought I'd turn to art. So I acquired a set of brushes and I went without a bath, which presumably implied I had a new set of beliefs. But I underestimated the important role of talent, which was easily apparent from the record of my sales. And in the meantime, I'd severely strained a muscle in my thigh, attempting to sustain the lotus on a neighbor's kitchen table. In the hospital, I thought of doing something for the world, but the Peace Corps didn't answer. So I joined a cooking school, having always held and cherished an affinity for food. But my self-respect deflated with an undercooked souffle, and I was back to bussing tables at the Denny's in Salinas, where I sort of snapped. But now I'm well, he's really, I'm really well. Yeah, it's a long story how I got to say now, better I'm well. My mother always told me to be more like my dad. I asked her more like which one of the 5 that I'd had. She said a change is common, don't go feeling so used. I said my only problem is I'm chronically confused. On my 27th birthday, which occurred about that age, I was talking to the analyst who found me selling incense at an airport after having left the clinic about a crisis and some silly Venice metaphor for sinking in the soul, when my thought was interrupted by a birthmark on my arm, which looks a little like Nebraska. I'd forgotten since those 2 weeks of pre-med in junior college, which I quit to study judo. And I looked at all the meat and marrow shadow someone stuck together. All these veins and vital organs, all that gray and white, all humming and collaborating and ticking and recycling and making that Nebraska on my arm a possibility. And I got up from the couch and I shouted, "Hey, I own this thing!" Sorry. And my analyst suspected I was closing on the edge, and I convinced him when I said I wouldn't send him any money. He said, "Don't go getting cocky, 'cause you've had one revelation, 'cause the only tool you've got against psychosis is experience, and yours has all been bad." I said, "You're darn right, but now I'm good. I'm really good. He's good. He's really, yes, now I'm good. Sing along. I'm well, fine, and good. He's good. He's well, fine, and good. Yeah, it's a long story how I got to say no. I'm good. I hope. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Going to get things, do a little tighten up here and see if we can get a little more volume for you. Sorry if this is making a hellish racket, but Ducky, can I borrow your flashlight over here and see what's happening? I'm somehow thinking that is the optimal setting. Is that better? Would you type that into Miss Valerie and see if that's a better setting for the volume? Let me know.
Need some gain.
Need some gain. Detergent? Laundry detergent? Tide Pods? No? How's that? Any better? I heard that, so it must be okay. Sorry about that, but that was the perfect song to shake things out on. Now I'm good. Roy Zimmerman, thank you very much. Wonderful song. Any questions or comments so far? Thank you very much for tuning in. I've had a great time watching other people do these shows. Noctambule, Michael Clem, all kinds of folks have been doing sometimes daily webcasts. And how are we doing, Ducky? We're swinging? Good. We got the big thumbs up from my own dear Valerie May. A hand, please, for Miss Valerie May, helping me out with the Webby here. A number of requests, and I'll get to them week after week after week. This setup is new and different from what we did last week, but I think eventually it's going to look and sound better. And I think perhaps we just made an improvement on the sound right there. It'll be Monday nights. We were scheduled to go at 7 o'clock at night, but I understand that for people on the West Coast, that bumps into Jeopardy. And I had not realized that Jeopardy was that near and dear, but apparently it is. So we moved the thing to 7:30 Pacific Daylight Time. Please do type in where you're webbing in from. That's always of interest. Always intriguing to find out where people are and where they're webbing in from. And if you wouldn't mind, how you heard about this particular musical adventure online. Right. Do you know what? I'm going to play this one, and I hope you'll sing along, and I'm sure you'll know why. You come home late, you come home early. Come home big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? Broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. I got a heart that burns with a fever. I got a jealous and a worried mind. How can a love that'll last forever get left so far behind? Everybody, what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. Mighty mean and a dreadful sorrow cross the evil line today. How can you ask about tomorrow? We ain't from yesterday. What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? Broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. One more time, please, for John. What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? Broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. Tag it. You're out there running just to be on the run. Tag it again. You're out there running just to be on the run. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Clap, clap, clap for John Prine, who's very ill at the moment. Send him any good vibes you have to spare, please. That's a song that I've played for years and years with a dear pal of mine, Rory McNamara. Wish you could hear him sing it. Holy smokes, what a voice on that man. And we played that for years and years as the frontman at the Naval of the Irish Universe, the Plow on the Stars, over in San Francisco, California. And we had a regular Monday night thing. That's part of the reason that I wanted to put these things on Monday night, because there's just sort of a kind of a perverse pleasure in booking a gig on a Monday night, because Monday nights were always the toughest by far. And so we decided, well, what the heck? We know that there are a lot of touring musicians coming through that have a weekend. They've got probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the part of the next week, they're just hanging out, which the hanging out is cool too. But if you can keep your chops up by playing and playing and playing on a Monday night in particular, that'd be the very best. So we scheduled a bunch of people to come in on Monday nights to the Plow on the Stars. Great pub, wonderful place. And it would change. This was in the days when smoking was still allowed, and actually probably required in the Plow on the Stars. And we'd look up after a song, and you'd say, "Oh, it's a biker bar." And we'd go back and we'd play a little bit, and then we'd look up and say, "Oh, it's a gay bar." And we go back and play a little bit more. Hey, wait, how about that? 10 minutes later, it's a college bar. Everybody's favorite pub in San Francisco, the Plow on the Stars. So that's what I have to say about that. And Rory, if you're out there, hats off to you for that song. That was my pale version of your rendition of Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. What else was I going to do for you today? I was going to do... are there any requests? Did we have any requests, Ducky, or comments or questions so far?
They want to know about your tip jar.
Oh, the tip jar. Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. On Venmo, it's... Do we have the slate handy still, Ducky? There it is. Thank you very much. On Venmo, it's Mighty Fine Guitars. I don't know if you can see this from there. And on PayPal, it's just paypal.me/, 1/Stevie Coyle, Stevie Coyle, all small letters, no caps in there at all. One more flash of this, and this will be at the beginning of this. You know, these videos, arguably the best and the worst thing about them is they persist on Facebook. So it's it'll be up there, and you'll see the slate at the beginning there that has all of the pertinent info. I'm going to see if I can steer away from having the sign in the picture with me the whole time, looming over my shoulder with my name on there. I gotta get back to that. Here we go. My first cousin. Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain, just a whole lot more, and I'll get them deep river blues. Let the rain drive right on, don't step in the puddles or you might drown, and you'll get them deep river blues. I was standing on the corner with the low-down blues. I got a great big hole in the bottom of my shoes, and I got them deep river blues. Hello, Sal, baby, I know you. You got a worn-out slipper and a torn-up shoe, and you got them deep river blues. Down in the wildwood, sitting on a log, got a finger on the trigger, got my eye on that hog. Well, I got them deep river blues. I pulled that trigger and the gun went blam, and I got splattered with bits of ham, and I got them deep. It's a true story. Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all, but I ain't seen anything like him in any amusement hall. Well, that deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain, just a whole lot more, and I'll get them deep river blues. Hello, Sal, baby, I know you. You got a worn-out slipper and a torn-up shoe, and you got them deep river blues. Well, I don't know what happened. It was very, very odd. Well, thank you very much. Clap, 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 clap. Yes, that was moderately fantastic. Thank you. I'll clap for you since you can't be here yourselves, because I'm sure you would. Very nice, nice people. I'll tune this thing. You know, there's a lot of talk about wearing pants on the internet right now, and I'm wearing pants. Although I'm tempted, I think, between black jeans and black sweatpants that I have, I'm tempted, you know, as the weather gets warmer, God forbid we get into summer with this, But if that happens, I'm just going to paint my legs black and go with that. You heard it here first, and you're welcome to steal that idea if you want to, but take no responsibility for consequences. How are we on time, Ducky? I'm rattling on as usual.
22 minutes in.
22 minutes in. All right. I better do the one I'm going to do, because I promised Dale Barcelos in Maryland that I would. This one is, as advertised on the Facebooks there, this one is a 600-year-old folk song written in, I think, 1969 by Archie Fisher, who's fantastic, fantastic man and a wonderful performer. I guess I don't need this iPad here anymore. He's really, really something. He wrote this song that Stan Rogers, who's made it arguably as famous as anybody else who's done a rendition of The Witch of the Westmoreland, he used to introduce it when they shared stages as, here's a 600-year-old folk song written by that guy right over there. And sure enough, for you guitar geeks out there, I suppose I should mention that this one's in the key of G, and I do kind of this thing with it. Have you got one of these capos, one of these Kaiser capos? Some people call it a Kaiser capo. I call it a sling capo. If you've got a Kaiser capo that does this thing, sure, you can use that part of the pad for capoing straight away. But this little bit down here is useful as well, because if, sorry you non-guitarists, just a little bit of geekery here, not too much. The big geekery goes on Fridays at noontime on the Friday Noontime Facebook webcast, normally from Mighty Fine Guitars, my shop, 0.6 of a mile that way. If you use the back side of the capo, squeeze it nice and hard, stick it over from this side, and get strings 5, 4, and 3. The low string, with any luck, the low strings, what you're doing essentially here is fingering with the capo, with the back side of the capo, an E sus4 chord. Fascinating, eh? But what it does is it gives you essentially kind of a dadgaddy sort of sound. I have to be quiet while I'm tuning because my own nattering on gets in the way of tuning this one. See? And this one really is worth getting right. Archie Fisher actually gave us the sequel to this. The us being the us at the time was the Waybacks, gave us the sequel to this song called The Return, and we recorded that. I think we were the first people to record The Return, Chapter 2. And we saw him recently at a concert in Berkeley. It was a wonderful, wonderful house concert. And he said, oh, you know, Stevie, I've got another one. I've got a part 3 coming up, so stay tuned for the third part of this. Pale was the wounded knight that bore the rowan shield. Loud and cruel were the raven's cries that feasted on the field, saying, "Back, water cold and clear, never clean your wound. There's none but the witch of the Westmoreland that can make thee hale and soon. So turn, turn your stallion's head, till his red mane flies in the wind, and the rider of the moon goes by, and the bright star falls behind. And clear was the paly moon when its shadow passed him by. Below the hills were the brightest stars when he heard the owlet cry, saying, why do you ride this way? I seek the witch of the Westmoreland that dwells by the winding mere, and it's weary by the Owl's water in the misty Breakfern way, till through the cleft of the Kirkston Pass the winding water lay. Ye may good grey hawk, and thee my steed may graze thy fill, for I must dismount and walk. But come when ye hear my horn, and answer swift that call, for I fear the and loud, long, and shrill he blew, till the steed was by his side. High overhead the grey hawk flew, and swiftly he did ride, saying, "Course well, my brindle hound, fetch me the jet black mare. Stoop and stride, my good grey hawk, and bring me the maiden fair." And the golden rod he has cast in, to see what the lake might yield. And wet rose she from the lake, and fast and fleet went she, one half the form of a maiden fair, with a jet black mare's body. And loud, long, and shrill he blew, till the steed was by his side. High overhead the grey hawk flew, and swiftly he did ride, saying, "Well, my brindle hound, and fetch me the jet black mare. Stoop and strike, my good grey hawk, and bring me the maiden fair." She said, "Pray sheathe thy silvery sword, lay down the rowan shield, for I see by the briny blood that flows you've been wounded in the field." And she stood in a gown of velvet blue, bound around with a silver chain, and she's kissed his pale lips once and twice, and 3 times round again. And she's bound his wounds with the golden rod, full fast in her arms he lay, and he has ridden pale and soon with the sun high in the day. She said, "Ride with your brindle hound at heel, and your good grey hawk in hand. There's none can harm the knight who's lain with the witch of the Westmoreland." What a great song. Good heavens. Good heavens. Great song by Archie Fisher, The Witch of the Westmoreland. And thanks for the request. I'll try and get to them week after week after week. This is usually what happened when I was out on the road solo. Somebody would request a song, and I'd get to it like 3 or 4 gigs later. So this works out perfect this time. This works out really good. Just a couple minutes left. Just a couple minutes left, kids. 31. We're at 31 minutes right now? Okay, good. I'll play something real quick, and we'll get you on your way to your next show, because there's shows starting all over the country, all over the world, on the hours.
Crackles during strumming.
Yeah, I probably overdrove that. Sorry if I overdrove that during the strummy bits there. We'll figure out this gain thing, PDQ. Let's finish up with, here's a sing-along. All you gotta do is sing a B note with me. That right there. B, Orville, and Mark. It's a bit of a dirge, but join in if you know the chorus. I've done lots of spiritual healing. I'm in touch with all my feelings. I've read palms and read the stars for kings and queens. And I hate to bum you out, but you have without a doubt the ugliest aura this poor boy's ever seen. Thank you, Marley's Ghost. I can see your aura and it's ugly. Your spirit must be rotten to the core. To a new age guy like me, you'll just bring pain and misery. So darling, I can't love you anymore. Hold on to that ore. In some life before, you murdered people by the score. Your evil is so totally complete. All good from you is gone. You are darkness with no dawn. Either that or you are eating too much meat. I can see your aura and it's ugly. Your spirit must be rotten to the core. To a new age guy like me, you'll just bring pain and misery. So darling, I can't love you anymore. Thank you, Mark Johnson, Mark and Orville. I mashed them together. Stevie Coyle here. Now go, get off to your next thing. Go on to go do your Netflixing. Go on to the next show here. And here's the Venmo and PayPal info if you got a buck or two to spare. If you don't, that's just fine as well. Thank you for tuning in. Now you kids get off my lawn. You hold that. Bye, kids. Stevie Coyle here, saying night-night from bucolic Larkspur, California.